Merry Christmas to all our viewers. Thanks for joining us on the program today. I'm Joke Rogers. Coming up within the half hour. Head of the Catholic Church calls for an end to conflicts around the world during his first Urbi et Orbi address on Christmas Day to worshippers gathered in Vatican City. The Christmas spirit returns to Bethlehem with festive music after a hiatus over the war in Gaza. Plush British royal family attend Christmas Day church service at Sandringham. Let's begin the world today. Welcome once again. We begin with the Christmas Mass at the Vatican, where head of the Catholic Church, Pope Leo XIV, is calling for an end to global wars, highlighting humanitarian crisis across the world and pleading for sympathy for immigrants worldwide. His first Christmas Day message was a call for peace, citing suffering in Gaza, Ukraine, several countries in Africa and elsewhere in the world.
At the Vatican, a Christmas sermon marked by solemn reflection and unusually direct appeal on global suffering. Pope Leo XIV has used his first Christmas celebrations as pontiff to speak forcefully about the plight of Palestinians in Gaza, the Ukraine war, and many other regions in conflict, warning that modern wars are leaving behind what he described as rubble and open wounds across the world. Celebrating Christmas Mass inside St. Peter's Basilica, the first American Pope departed from the purely spiritual tone that traditionally defines the service, addressing humanitarian crisis and the human cost of conflict before thousands of worshippers gathered for the occasion. Reflecting on the Christian story of the birth of Jesus in a stable, Pope Leo said it symbolized the God who chose to live among the vulnerable. He described it as God having pitched his fragile tent among humanity before drawing a stark comparison to the present-day suffering in Gaza. Pope Leo, elected in May following the death of Pope Francis, is known for a quieter and more diplomatic approach than his predecessor, and he has generally avoided overt political references in sermons. However, in recent weeks, he has repeatedly lamented conditions in Gaza and has stated that any lasting solution to the Israel-Palestine conflict must include the creation of a Palestinian state.
Il suo nome era Giovanni. Egli venne come testimone per dare testimonianza alla luce, perché tutti credessero.
During the Christmas Mass, the Pope broadened his message beyond Gaza, speaking about suffering across the globe. He lamented the condition of homeless people worldwide and the devastating impact of conflicts that continue to displace civilians and destroy communities.
Perché attraverso strade lunghe e dissetate hanno portato un annuncio lieto.
Later in the day, during the traditional Urbi et Orbi blessing delivered from the main balcony of St. Peter's Basilica before a crowd of nearly 26,000 faithful gathered in St. Peter's Square, Pope Leo expanded his appeal, calling for an end to wars across the world. He cited conflicts in Ukraine, Sudan, Mali, Myanmar, and parts of Southeast Asia, including Thailand and Cambodia, urging the international community to pursue peace over confrontation. As Christians around the world marked Christmas Day, the Pope's message stands as a reminder of those for whom the season brings little comfort. His first Christmas as leader of the Catholic Church seemed to set a clear tone, placing the suffering of civilians, the consequences of war, and the urgency of peace at the center of his global moral appeal.
Meanwhile, Christians in Gaza attended Mass at the Holy Family Church in eastern Gaza City, marking the first of such services since the war in the Gaza Strip came to a halt. Worshippers at the church sang hymns and read scriptures during the prayers, expressing cautious optimism on returning to normal lives after 2 years of exhaustion and destruction. For some others, the return of the celebration is bittersweet as they are not able to celebrate with loved ones that have died as a result of the war. The service follows a ceasefire agreement reached between Hamas and Israel, which came into effect in October under the framework of the 20-point Trump plan. Thousands of people also gathered in Bethlehem for the first public celebration since 2022 after the city cancelled or muted festivities for 2 years out of respect for the thousands killed during Israel's genocidal war on Gaza. Family filled Manger Square in the occupied West Bank city as a giant Christmas tree returned to the plaza, replacing a nativity display used during the war that showed baby Jesus amid rubble and barbed wire, symbolizing the devastation in Gaza. Scout bands from towns across the West Bank marched through Bethlehem streets, their bagpipes draped with tartan and Palestinian flags. The celebrations were led by Cardinal Battista Pizzaballa, the top Catholic leader in the Holy Land, who arrived in Bethlehem from Jerusalem in the traditional Christmas procession and called for a Christmas full of light. In Britain, King Charles and Queen Camilla attended a Christmas Day service in Shanghai with the Prince and Princess of Wales and other royals by their side. After the service at St. Mary Magdalene Church in Norfolk, the King, Queen, Prince William, his wife Catherine, and their 3 children greeted and interacted with excited crowds who had gathered and waited outside on the Christmas morning. Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, formerly Prince Andrew, was not present, but his daughters, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, were there along with their husbands. The Princess Royal and her daughter, Zara Tyndall, with her family, also attended, as did the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh. The Christmas morning church service is a big event in the royal calendar, bringing together the royal family for a public appearance with crowds and photographers capturing the moment the royals are spending Christmas at their Sandringham estate, which has been the customary seasonal meeting place for the family since 1988. Christians in Damascus celebrated Christmas Mass at the Holy Cross Church on Wednesday amid an atmosphere of caution and vigilance. Worshippers of all ages filled the church for the service, with the Christmas tree standing at the entrance as prayers were held. Archbishop Romanus Alhana, a patriarchal vicar, acknowledged the cautious mood while stressing the importance of continuing daily life. Many say that they want a country that will be in peace, as has been for thousands of years, along with all other religions. Since the current transitional government assumed power in Damascus in December 2024, media reports have documented violations against civilians. And given an account of the year that's about to end, the head of the World Health Organization says 2025 marked major achievements for global health alongside significant challenges, including funding cuts and multiple humanitarian emergencies. According to the Director General, Tedros Ghebreyesus, The adoption of the WHO pandemic agreement stood out as the year's most significant achievement, a powerful example of what multilateralism can deliver when countries choose cooperation over division. He said the agency also validated 13 countries for eliminating diseases, issued guidance on new health innovations, and responded to 48 emergencies across 79 countries and territories, including Gaza, Sudan, and Ukraine.
2025 for the year of major achievements and challenges for global health and for WHO. The most significant achievement was the adoption of the WHO Pandemic Agreement, a powerful example of what multilateralism can deliver when countries choose cooperation over division. In addition, this year WHO validated 13 countries for the elimination of diseases. We provided guidance on innovations, including lenacapavir for HIV prevention and GLP-1 therapies for obesity. And we responded to 48 emergencies in 79 countries and territories, including Gaza, Sudan, and Ukraine. 2025 brought other serious challenges. Aid cuts threaten to reverse decades of progress, with early estimates suggesting childhood mortality could rise for the first time this century. And cuts to WHO's budget left us with no choice but to reduce the size of our workforce. But in the crisis lies an opportunity for countries to transition away from aid dependency towards self-reliance, and the opportunity for WHO to become more independent and future-proof. The world still needs WHO, and WHO remains committed to our founding vision, the highest attainable standard of health, not as a privilege for some, but a right for all.
And still to come. Vietnam's Saigon Notre Dame Cathedral drenched in 1,000 kilometers of lights for Christmas. That's in a moment. Please stay with us. Welcome back. Authorities in Turkey have disrupted planned attacks on Christmas and New Year events after arresting more than 100 suspected members of the so-called Islamic State group. Mass raids were carried out at 124 addresses across Istanbul, with firearms, ammunition, and organizational documents seized. Officials say its IS supporters had been actively planning attacks across Turkey this week, particularly against non-Muslims. Police detained 115 suspects, but efforts are ongoing to trace a further 22. The prosecutor's office said the suspects were in contact with operatives outside of Turkey. The announcement comes 2 days after Turkish intelligence agents carried out a raid against the group on the Afghanistan-Pakistan border. More Christmas stories. Hundreds of visitors are flocking to Shanghai's popular market, the Christkindl Market, to enjoy a European-style holiday experience, sample festive sweets and drinks, and take pictures. Visitors enter the market gates with umbrellas, strutting beneath Christmas lights, enjoying hot drinks and posing for photos with Santa Claus. Shanghai's Christkindl Market is a German-style Christmas market traditionally held near the Bund, close to Yuan Mingyuan Road. It features more than 45 wooden stalls offering mulled wine, sausages, sweets, handmade gifts, festive music and decorative lights, transforming the riverside area into a winter wonderland for the holiday season.
I expect better, but it's raining a little bit, but the vibe is good.
So for me, this is the third time, but so today just really the first time for the Merry Christmas at the Shanghai park. Yeah.
Normally in Denmark, at least, like Christmas is a very big day. But here in China, like people don't really celebrate it. That's why, you know, we're both from Denmark. We got to celebrate it somehow.
Yeah, and we get the things like we get at home. For example, the mulled wine. We call it glögg. Very good. It's very, very beautiful. Like the surroundings and stuff. All the Christmas lights. Yeah. Very, very nice.
Normally back in Denmark, we have like large Christmas markets as well, and also in other European countries. So that's why, you know, it's nice to. It feels like it feels more like the Christmas markets back in Europe, you know. So it's nice to come back.
I love this market. It started with my great friend David. We started years ago in a very small NGO, and it has grown to this. And what I love is that people come together. So you have just so many people, and you feel the love, you feel the energy. It's not just commercial.
And in Mexico City, thousands of people are celebrating the festive season by swapping everyday sportswear for Santa suits. The traditional Santa Run has returned for its 7th year, bringing together families, children, and even pets for a day of sport, fancy dress, and charity, all to support children living on the streets. In the half-light of an early Sunday morning, Mexico City's streets are already turning red and white. More than 3,000 runners, walkers, and four-legged companions have gathered for Santa Run 2025, a festive race where the dress code is simple: come as Father Christmas. There are 5- and 10-kilometer runs and a 1-kilometer walk designed for children, older adults, and pets.
This is the 7th edition, and we're looking forward to the 2nd edition in Torreon next weekend. And next year, we're going to open a new edition as well.
Families pose for photos, adjust beards and hats, and stretch before the start. For organizers, it is about more than just a fun run.
The race is amazing. It's a great concept to promote sport among children and families, encourage togetherness, and take advantage of the fact that it's Christmas.
Santa Run began here in 2019, inspired by similar events in Australia. The idea was simple: take a playful global tradition and give it a local twist and a purpose. This year's race supports Fundación Somos Luz, a charity that helps and cares for children living on the streets of Mexico City. For many runners, the challenge is personal as well as charitable.
You feel an adrenaline rush. I feel motivated and really eager to run right now, with the weather being perfect to run the 10 kilometers.
Around the world, Santa Runs have become a light-hearted way to mark the season and raise money for good causes. In Mexico City, the organizers are already planning more editions in other cities, hoping that every December, a growing sea of Santas will bring not just color to the streets, but concrete help to those who need it most. Lighting up the season, one of Vietnam's best-known landmarks has been transformed into a glowing symbol of Christmas. The historic Saigon Notre Dame Cathedral has been wrapped in a spectacular skein of lights, drawing thousands of visitors every night to its newly illuminated square. Saigon's Notre Dame Cathedral has become a canvas of light, reborn for Christmas as a shimmering landmark in the heart of Ho Chi Minh City. Aerial shots show the basilica draped in what looks like a vast golden net, created by an estimated 1,000 kilometers of LED lights, twice as many as last year. As darkness falls, the twin spires appear like towering Christmas trees, every arch and roofline picked out in light. On the ground, Gunamro and the surrounding square have turned into a festive promenade. Families, tourists, and groups of friends weave through illuminated arches, star-shaped sculptures, and media art installations, stopping for photos and videos. We are Catholics, so during the holidays we enjoy the Christmas spirit together. This year, the festive feel in Ho Chi Minh City is wonderful, so our group planned to come here to enjoy it.
After work, I got dressed up in a costume and came here to take photos with the children in the Christmas display.
This is my first time visiting the cathedral. It's incredibly crowded and lively, and the illuminations are beautiful. Church officials say heat-free LEDs were chosen to protect the 19th century neo-Romanesque structure, which has been under long-running restoration. And that's the world today. Thank you so much for watching. Joker Rogers, and great celebrations, everyone.